Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Give me just one moment. Alrighty, let's see if this works. So I again just wanted to kind of follow up with what I started on in Reptile Club today, and that was this tank that I'm building for my pygmy orange-throated skink. Cleaned it out nice and clean, and now I'm going to, and then I have a nice little water dish for him. And then I'm going to be using this Eco Earth and creating it, which is why I kind of wanted to do this little video, because I said I'd love to be able to stop it and show you the before after. So now I'm going to be able to do that. So Eco Earth. I also have some plants. Now, if you've ever heard the phrase bioactive enclosure, or if you ever hear me say, hey, this is a bioactive enclosure, it means it has living plants. Living plants. This is Cheaty's tank, if you didn't recognize it behind me. Also bioactive, it's trying to be a bioactive enclosure. Cheaty keeps eating all the live plants. That's been a fun challenge. All right, cool. So let's just go ahead and pause it right here, and I will be right back, and we'll start the Eco Earth. Okay, I tried to fix the background. That didn't work at all. But what I was looking for is this big bowl. This is my mixing bowl of soil. I use it all the time. Highly recommend having one because it gets messy. So basically what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to fill this with water. Then I'm going to pretty much soak the part of it, like a chunk of it, and then I'm going to try and break it off. So you can see it's pretty. It's not the plastic. This is just a thick brick. It's compressed. So that little chunk should be enough, and that should be all we need. It might even be more than I need. So we'll see how it goes in a moment. All right, I came back to the reptile room because I have a feeling this is going to be very, very messy. And in fact, I am going to move Pepperoni Spots. That's its name as of now. We've been calling it Pepperoni, and Spots. So now that's those three names. I'm going to move. That's our Krusty. Not what we're talking about. So I have the water. Yay! And as you can see, it's not going to... Where did I put it? One moment. I was sitting on it. All right, so this isn't going to break. I'm going to try and open it up and be the least messy as possible. All right. Come on. It's like... there we go. Worst unboxing video ever. But it's so cool. It'll be cool. So this is enough soil for 650 gallons is what this is telling me. I do not need that much right now. Hold on. Doing it up in the air so I get it on camera is making it harder to do. All right, and like I said, I cannot. I did break it. Yay! I broke off a chunk. I didn't think that was going to happen. And now I'm going to put it in the water. Ooh. Oh, there it goes. And wait. Well, it soaks it up, and as you can see, kind of slowly breaks apart. And now my hands are all dirty. I'm going to add just a little bit more. It's never terrible to have extras. And I'm going to wipe my hands off and hit pause, and I'll be right back when it looks better. So just for the record, right now it's kind of this weird brown soup. Soon it will be mud. Well, not mud, but it'll be Eco Earth, Rep the Soil. There's all sorts of different ones. There's coconut. There's literally a bunch of different kinds of this. So I just grabbed the one I use a lot, which is Eco Earth. Forest Floor is another one I use a lot. Coconut Husk I've used before. It's not my favorite. But yeah, anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, it's been a minute or two. I kind of wanted to check in on it. So if you notice that small chunk, I don't know what size it was. Feel free to rewind it if you need a look. Has absorbed all this water. It's now almost the full bowl. And I've just kind of been mixing it. And if you squeeze it all out, it's perfect. And since a lot of animals like it have a little bit of moisture in their enclosure, this will hold it nice and well. So I think Emma or someone in our club mentioned that they had frogs and that they're familiar with this. My frog does have this. My frog is right there. maybe. Yeah. And while I'm sorry that the screen is dirty, it does have that, like you said, like I showed you. See this earth? That's in there, and I have a little bit of sprag moss and some decorations. That actually is not a bioactive enclosure, by the way. That frog one I just showed you, that plant in there is plastic. So one way, if it's bioactive, it will have living plants like that one up there. See those living plants, and it's got its own little sun. That right there is just got plastic plants in it, so it's not bioactive. Usually, the reason I go bioactive or not is because my wife has a plant that she wants to put in it. And if she does, cool. And if not, then we usually don't. The other way is a lot of my desert ones. So let's see. I need to do a little more. Yeah, this dude up here, Conchu and Moonbeam, they need more of a desert temperature. So I usually don't use this kind of moisture or substrate in those, and they're not usually going to have bioactive enclosures because the plants in there will die from oversun. So you need like make sure you get like succulents. And again, I'm just playing with my dirt right now, getting it ready. Like I said, it went from that small chunk. I can kind of show you, like, this is how much is left. I took off this, and this thing like folds over. So I took off that much, and we have like my hands, this much left. Pretty cool, huh? I like it. It's pretty economic. It was only like $8 for that whole thing. So definitely a good way to get fresh soil. And this is going to be way too much, which I thought it might be, but I have more than one reptile, so I'm probably going to use tonight to freshen up some of the tanks. And I might let this dry a little bit. We'll see. All right, everyone. So thank you. I'll go ahead and pause and update this in a little bit. Once I dry my hands enough to touch the computer. Boop. And we're back. Not quite dry yet. Drier, but still a little damp. If you're like me, though, and impatient, one thing you can do is kind of squeeze all the moisture out of it. And you'll have like a ball like this, a compressed ball. But watch what that happens. And then you can kind of sprinkle and break it apart. Sprinkle it in. Now you may notice I have some paper towels down. Usually with quarantine and baby geckos, I like to keep them on a paper towel. You'll notice, I think my Leachianus gecko and my new babies are still on paper towels. They also have just a light bit of coconut husk on them, or coconut bark. One, to help with the smell, two, to kind of help absorb, and three, because well, it just kind of gives them a more natural feel, and it holds in a little bit of the moisture. Sometimes the paper towels just get too wet too fast. That being said, the reason I'm doing it with this one is this is still kind of a quarantine baby. I kind of still want to keep track of it, so I'm only doing this because his enclosure is too small, and he was in a bigger one, and he did have his own kind of thing going on in terms of soil and places to tunnel. A lot of skinks are like to kind of go under earth and tunnel a little bit, and I feel like maybe since he's hiding a lot under the paper towel we have in there, maybe he just doesn't feel safe, or he's cold and trying to heat up. So no matter what, this will be a good idea. So that's why I'm doing this. All right. Well, I think we almost have enough. Again, I put the paper towel down because it makes it easier to clean. I just kind of pick up the paper towel and dump it all out. Also, this is going to dry a little more, which will be cool because I have more water than I have soil, which is kind of crazy how that happened. So you don't need a ton of water. I'm actually going to put some soil just to soak up some of this water. So be careful with the earth. And yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll show you the final product when it's ready. All right, so I sprayed it down. He was looking a little thirsty. Oh, don't worry. This weighs nothing. There he is. This is not his final home. I'm going to take the lid out, but he was hanging out on it. and likes it. So I want to keep that in there for a little bit for some familiarity. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to like get it in the camera without hurting him. There he is. He's right there. There's his tail. If you can see his cutie face, he is licking up water off of that. Let's see, can I get it close? Yeah, so I'm going to put some more branches and some more things in this. I actually am going to wait for my wife's opinion on the bioactive. So if you want to see what the final product is, just let me know. I'll post a picture in the chat. All right, if you still are watching, thanks. If not, no worries. And I appreciate your time and patience, and see you next time. Woohoo!